Okay, everybody. Hopefully everyone is well. Today what I decided to do was I decided to take a look at the IXL and make sure that you guys were not only doing the work but understood the IXL. Some of the kids were saying that they're having some trouble. So what I did today was I just went through and I screenshot all of J5, and I know the problems are different, but what I wanted to do was I just wanted to show you how, if you were having trouble, then you could follow along, and these are actually the IXL problems from J5. All right, so I'm going to work on multi-step equations today, which is J5, and then I'm expecting you guys to submit this, follow the notes with me. I want all the work shown out, and then just jump on and do J5, and J5 should be easy because I'm going through a lot of it. All right, so multi-step equations, here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, just to show you that these were directly off IXL, I went ahead and made an example, but then I erased things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this part, and now we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so with that being said, all right, what I want to do is solve this multi-step equation. Generally that calls for combining like terms. So the first thing we want to remember is that the double negatives make a positive. So we're just going to go 3p plus 18p minus 7 equals 14. Now we combine terms, 3p and 8p. Let me go ahead and grab that. All right, these added together make 21p minus 7 equals 14. Now we're back to two-step equation, so we just add 7, and then we just say 21p equals 21. So now we divide both sides by 21, so p is equal to 1. All right, so again, very simple process. Generally you're combining like terms. All right, and your objective is to isolate the variable. Okay, so now for question number 2. This is a time, remember, this is from yesterday, or the last lesson. We undo division. So we're going to multiply both sides by 3 first. Now the reason why we do that is, remember, this is a quantity. All right, so now we just have d plus 16 equals negative 3, and keep in mind that cancels. Now we subtract 16, and so now we have d equals negative 19. Okay? Question number 3. Now, this one's a little sneaky because of this negative z. Alright? So there's lots of ways to deal with it, but the main thing I want you to remember is this means plus 3. So we could, if we wanted to, just subtract 3 from both sides. And then we have negative z equals negative 2. And then again, the negative, which we've talked about a bunch, the negative in front of the variable just means change the sign. So z is equal to 2. Now, because you're more advanced, here's another way. All right, I always tell the kids I try to make the variable positive, so that means I'm going to throw the z over here, and then I'm going to subtract the 1. And now the variable is positive. All right, and again, that's how I like to do it. I prefer that the variable it stays positive, or I make it positive if it's possible. Okay? So now let's take a look at question number 4. Several options here. We can distribute, or we can say, wow, this negative 9 is divisible by 3, so I can divide by 3. We get p minus 18 equals negative 3, and so now we add 18, and so now I get p equals 15. Now if you want to distribute first, I want to show you get the same answer. 3 times p minus 18 equals negative 9. Distribute the 3, 3p, 18 times 3 is 54. Alright, and then add 54 to both sides. And then we get 3p equals 45. Now we divide both sides by 3. Excuse me. So p is equal to 15. All right. So those are just two different techniques. Ultimately get the same answer. All right. Now again, here we have dividing by -1, so I can multiply by -1. So now I have n plus 10 equals 3. Subtracting 10. So now I have n equals -7. All right, very simple. Okay. Now, next we're combining terms again. But again, we don't really do plus minus, so I'm just going to rewrite this as 3g minus 15g plus 6 equals -18. Again, we're combining terms. All right, so 3 minus 15, -12g plus 6 equals -18. Subtract 6, -12g equals -24. Divide both sides by -12, and so g equals 2. Alright? Let's check out number 7. Hopefully it gets harder. Alright? Now again, we're just looking at the double negatives again. Okay? So double negative is going to make a positive. So -18d plus 5d equals 13. Now we're going to combine these terms here. Alright, so now we end up with -13d equals 13. Divide both sides by -13. So d equals -1. Alright, next. Alright, now this can kind of be made as a proportion. Alright, so you could rewrite this as 12 over c equals 3 over 1. Now remember, we cross multiply. So that means we're going to multiply this together, which you get 3c. And then we're going to multiply that together. 12 times 1 is 12. That's how you take care of that proportion. Then divide both sides by 3. C equals 4. Very simple. Very, very simple. Alright. Number 9, they're trying to get a little bit trickier. Alright. Again, I would just rewrite this. 6r minus 15 plus 7r minus 15 equals 3. Okay? Now we're going to combine this right here. I forgot the r. Let me correct that real quick. Yeah, it was minus 15r. Now we're going to combine terms. So we're going to combine those. So we have, I like to do 6 plus 7, which is 13. 13 minus 15, negative 2r. Then I add 15 to both sides. So now I have negative 2r equals 18. And so now r equals negative 9. Alright? Again, be careful combining terms. Alright, let's see how we're doing with number 10. Alright, so again, just multiplying by negative 1. So I have negative 2 is equal to u plus 2. Subtract 2. And so negative 4 equals u. Or we could just say u is equal to negative 4. Okay? Number 11, subtracting 2. Negative f is equal to negative 16. And don't forget, I keep reminding you, whenever the variable is negative, that just means change the signs. So the negative f becomes positive f, and the negative 16 becomes positive 16. Very straightforward. Okay? Let's take a look now at question number 12. Alright, I want to rewrite this now as 3y plus 6 plus 6 equals 6. A lot of 6's here, guys. So let's go ahead and distribute. 3y plus 18 plus 6 equals 6. Now again, we're going to combine these two right here. 18 plus 6 is 24. 3y plus 24 equals 6. Now we subtract 24, and I have 3y equals negative 18. Divide both sides by 3, so y equals negative 6. Notice, all of my work is being shown. Not part of it, all of it. This is what I'm expecting from you guys. I don't want to know just the answers. I want to show all of your work. Alright? Okay, 13, if you remember, we just make it a proportion, so we just say negative 3 over k equals 3 over 1. Now we, again, cross multiply. So we have 3k. Now we're going to cross multiply the other direction. Negative 3 times 1, negative 3. Divide both sides by 3. K equals negative 1. Okay? Okay, now it looks like they're throwing in some decimals here. Okay? So again, I want to rewrite this as 1.18 q plus 4 minus 9.17 equals negative 6.81. Now I'm showing you all the work. Okay, so I still want you, want you to try to avoid using a calculator. Alright? So the first thing I want to do is I want to distribute the 1.18. Alright? So 1.18 q, now 1.18 times 4, that's an easy one. Alright, 4.72 plus 4.72 minus 9.17 equals negative 6.81. Okay, now the next step is to combine these. With a positive and negative, that means we need to subtract. And the answer is going to be negative. But negative 9.17 plus 4.72. Alright, 5 comes at 8, 11, 4, 4. So it looks like we got 4.45. 1.18 q minus 4.45 is equal to negative 6.81. Alright? Now what? We're going to add 4.45, add 4.45. Sorry about that, I'm having trouble writing. 4.45. Alright, and now I have 1.18 q. These guys cancel, equal. Now I'm going to subtract, so that becomes a 7, that's an 11, 6, 3, 2, negative 2.36. So now we divide by 1.18, divide by 1.18. Now to me that's kind of obvious. Alright, don't forget you could rewrite that as 236 over 118, and then that's just 2. Q equals 2. Alright, so look how much work I did there. Alright, that's what I'm expecting you guys to do. Alright? So number 15 now, instead of distributing, I'm going to go ahead and divide. Hopefully it'll divide evenly. And we're going to find out. Divide by 7.82. Kind of looks ugly. But if I'm looking at this right off the bat, I can see 46 divided by 7 is about 6 times. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here and do 7.82 times 6. And what do you know? 48, 49, 42, 46. There you have it. Look how simple that was. So D minus 87 was equal to 6. Now if I add 87, I get D equals 93. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Alright, and that's probably one of the hardest ones on this IXL. Alright, so take your time, work it out by hand, don't use a calculator, you need to practice. Alright, now number 16. Alright, lots of decimals here, but the nice thing is I'm just multiplying by negative 1, which makes the problem easy P minus 8.14 is equal to 1.75. Now you add 8.14, add 8.14. Now look how easy that addition is. P equals, these guys cancel, 9, 8, 9. So P is equal to 9.89. See the decimals, they looked harder, but not at all. Okay? Number 17. Okay, so this one seems annoying. All right. Now, what I want to do now is I want everybody to pay attention here. All right, because I'm actually going to try to teach you now a little shortcut. All right, the reason why I want to do that is because watch how much easier the problem. All right, this quantity is being multiplied by 8, and then it's adding 3.77. So just like before, I could subtract 3.77, subtract 3.77. Now, why do I know that's better? Because I don't feel like multiplying 8 times 78 and then adding decimals. And so I noticed that this 0.77 and this 0.77, if I subtract, would cancel. And now look what happens. That becomes 0.0, and then, wow, look at that. 88 equals 8 times y minus 78. Now, why was that nice? Because now I can just divide both sides by 8. And I get 11 is equal to y minus 78. Now I'm going to add 78. And I end up with 89. So y equals 89. All right? Hopefully there's a couple more to go. Uh-oh. That was it. All right? So there are 17 practice problems directly from IXL dealing with multi-step equations. All right? So your job now is to submit that. All right? If you didn't understand something, slow the video down, go back, read it over again. I need you experts at solving equations, and then we have to do J5. All right? J5, and I want it up to a 90. All right? J5 up to a 90. All right? You guys have a wonderful day. Hopefully everybody is staying safe and healthy. I sure hope to get to see you soon. All right? Take care.